What's up, fam? Welcome to the Cole Life. We are.
Sorry, I've been smiling at you the whole time. You gotta do it again.
Wait, why are you smiling at me?
I think you're gonna notice me and then you don't, and then we just keep going.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Okay. What's up, fam? Welcome to the Cole Life. I first want to say that I looked at you guys' poll, and we're a little shocked.
I did not expect that.
I was not expecting that because so many people have asked us for a hair tutorial, and yeah, but y'all want to see a pregnancy update.
To be fair, Lexi worded it as big pregnancy update, so I think that was a little misleading. No, I do not think we're having twins. So everybody, let's just all take a breathe. Let's all take a moment.
I was like, that's probably true. I probably should just say regular pregnancy update. Either way, here is my bump. This is where I'm at. I am 16 weeks. And I will give you, it's round too. Like, look at that. I did just eat, guys. We are going to give a big pregnancy update soon.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
If you are new, welcome to our family. We appreciate you guys being here. And please do not forget to hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Make sure you comment on the video because we're going to have some really fun conversation that we want to hear your opinion on.
Yeah.
And let's get into it. So Lexi and I had a conversation with an interethnic woman, and her parents were black and white. So she told us that no matter what happens, she will identify 100% as African American.
Yeah.
So my question to you is that a bad thing? Now, we may be living in some sort of fantasy world in our beautiful little heads, but in a perfect world, in our scenario and what we believe, we want our child, as we mentioned before, to identify as 50% white and 50% black.
Yeah.
We want them to have a true identity that is rooted in who they really are, and not trying to split that and not trying to disassociate with a part of themselves to identify wholly as another part.
I think it's kind of hard because society does that anyway.
Right.
Because
Right.
we were talking about our experiences of being in a, just one race. When I went to a predominantly black school, they would say that I talk white. I was an Oreo. And then when I went to a predominantly white school, I was told, oh, well, you talk too ghetto. You don't talk like us. So dealing with that, that's a whole identity situation of, well, am I not, do I act differently, or do they accept me in the black community? Do they not accept me in the white community? Who am I? And that's hard in general. So
and we talked a little bit about my background in a few other videos, but I grew up around a lot of African Americans, so I would pick up just certain cultural things that I enjoyed or loved, and I would go hang out with my Egyptian, white, Indian, Asian friends during school, and they would say, why are you so ghetto? Why are you talking black? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And they would push me away. But then when I was around my black friends, they would be like, why are you so white? And then why are you this? Why are you that? It was like, why can't I just be who I am? And I went through an identity crisis a lot growing up because I wasn't sure which group I'm trying to fit in. It was like, do I want to hang out with these friends and be like them? But I don't like hockey and baseball and country music and this and that. Yeah. Do I want to hang out with my black friends? But I also love to hike, and I love to go whitewater rafting, and I love to be adventurous. It was almost like pick and choose which group you're in, because to be in both groups and just be who you are didn't seem to be acceptable all the time. With my black friends, as our relationships grew, they'd always go, man, Brian's black, he's cool, Brian's black. And I almost, for a little bit of my life, took some ounce of pride in that, and I don't know why. Because it was almost like, they might actually accept me, finally. But as I got older, I started to correct people and say, no, I'm definitely white. I'm definitely who I am.
It's like, why can't you accept me because I'm white? Like, where does that...
It was like, you're black, you're one of us now. If you weren't, then we would have not accepted you or something.
And understand, I know that I would say that to people, to white people before, and it would be a word of endearment. Yeah. But thinking about a kid, if I was a kid you get confused on that.
Yeah.
If I'm a child and I hear my parents, are around a different culture, and they say like, oh, your dad, like he's black. I would say no, he's white, and then they say, oh no, it's because he's cool, and I would see myself as a kid questioning, well, why is he only cool if he's black?
Right.
So that would be an issue.
Because there was this whole thing of like being white was not cool. You know, they can't dance. There's no rhythm. There's no this. There's all these like stereotypes about white people that they made it uncool to be white.
Yeah.
Oh, you listen to country? Oh, you're so white. Like it's a bad thing, right?
Same thing with me. Like if I would listen to country or
She liked country more than I did.
I love country.
I hate
I'm
country.
actually probably the most eclectic person you would ever meet when it comes to music.
You are.
I love all types of music,
You are.
but I saw myself even as a kid changing the radio station or changing.
Depending on who's in the
Yeah,
car.
depending on who's in the car. I'm like,
You're like-
let me put this on 107.5. I'm thinking it's already hard for us as human beings
Yes.
to be accepted in certain communities just because we don't act a certain way.
Because you are fully black.
Yeah.
I am fully white, and we still had identity issues growing up regarding culture and ethnicity and
Right.
all those things. So, and we're both fully aware that we're not mixed. So, if we
Yeah.
talk about now looking at taking those issues that are standard across the board and now putting in you are an interethnic child and
Yeah.
you are the perfect mixture of both cultures.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? It's a hard topic.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have any mixed friends that I feel like actually has done it right where I felt like it was a good mix of both. I think I literally only know one. And part of it is just because of who you hang around. Maybe you have to make a choice. I would love to hear from interethnic people about this topic because
Yeah.
was it hard? How hard was it for you? I know they even have a new show of Mixed-ish and they talk about a lot of issues.
Interesting stuff.
So I'm interested to hear more about that conversation because I do want my kids to identify as both. I think, honestly, I'm more so nervous because I feel like I wouldn't say that. I would say half and half people would either identify as full white or identify as full black. And I tell you right now, I'll be offended. I'll be offended if they don't identify with anything that comes with me.
I know. So I was watching a video, and this white mom had a mixed child, and the mixed child, she said, like, my child identifies as black, and that's okay with me. I'm petty. That's not okay with me. like you are, and here's why. And it's not just because I'm white and you're not identifying as white and I'm hurt. It's because by taking out half of who you are, you're denying everything that God is putting in you from that half. Like,
Yeah.
God specifically designed our child to be half black and half white for a reason. Everything that God does has a purpose, and He uses it for the benefit of that person, but also the benefit of His glory. So when you shut down half of who you are and the culture that is behind you and the traditions and customs and all the beauty that's there, then you're denying part of what God is trying to do and bring out inside of you. And that's where I get nervous, because it's like, what more did God have intended for that child if they were to accept their full self? If they were to accept the best parts of all of themselves? Maybe it's because they're ashamed of the terrible travesties that white culture has brought upon the world, which I understand.
And that's
I've
going to
even
be a
felt
hard
that.
conversation.
It is going to be hard because I've felt that personally, that weight and that burden of what my culture has done to other cultures throughout history. However, there are so many beautiful things in that culture as well. Every culture has negatives, every culture has positives. And we will choose to focus on the positives with our children and teaching them the joy and the beauty that is in both cultures, while also making them aware of what has happened on the negative side, what to avoid, obviously.
And it's going to be hard because in my mind, and this is just me talking, I'm thinking of me being a black woman, which is almost like the lowest of minority in a sense, and you being, white majority. And our cultures have literally fought against each other. It's not like me dating a different culture that didn't deal with slavery.
Minority.
Another minority, or even, just a different culture that didn't like hurt our ancestors in a sense. I think it'll be a hard conversation of just our kids trying to understand that, but we don't want to just give up and say that this is okay. I think that there's purpose in both of our cultures coming together. There's purpose in our son or our daughter, both. When the time comes, they will be able to be proud of both. And society is changing, but a lot of stuff is still the same. And I'm hoping that we're able to just manage through it all. I want to manage through it all. I want to at least give it a try. And if people have advice, I would love to hear it. I am proud to be a Black woman. I am proud to be a Christian Black woman. I look back on my ancestors. I look back on my genealogy, and I'm proud of what I've become because my ancestors have fought so hard to get to this place, and I want my children to feel that too. Brian's family has an amazing story. I want them to feel that too, and they see both sides. They see the strength, they see the courage, they see the faults, they see the mistakes on both sides. So that is something that we're struggling with, because I think it's hard. Society makes us choose a side, and I don't want that.
Yeah, and we have to be prepared for the questions that our kids bring up when they come home from school, and when their friends and the people in their school and their classes label them, and they're going to say, well, everyone says I'm Black, so what am I? We have to be ready for those questions. We have to be ready to shift the conversation. And even again, just individually, we talk about identity as a whole, not even dealing with race and religion and culture and all these other pieces. Identity as a whole for people is a very tough topic. For people to feel confident in their own self, confident in their own skin, confident in who they are, who God called them to be. We look at, I'm not trying to preach, but we look at where identity truly is supposed to reside. Our identity is supposed to reside in Christ. Who He is who we are. Yeah. We are the manifestations of Christ in the world, and we manifest different aspects of God, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where our identity is, and the closer I get to God, the closer I get to who I am in Him. So it needs to shift away from trying to put ourselves in different groups and put ourselves into different categories, and just be okay saying, I am me, and I am the fullness of myself, and I am who God called me to be. I'm who He designed me to be. He designed each and every one of us specifically to who you are. Yeah. So to deviate from that is to deviate away from His plan, and it's denying, again, God's purpose in you. So we take that really seriously. I mean, again, trying to get off my soapbox here, but we take that really seriously, and we want our kids to take it seriously as well. We know that this is definitely a huge topic. We could talk about this topic for hours, honestly. But with our children, with our own lives, and then with you guys and your lives, we just encourage everyone to take time, especially with God, to learn who you are, who He's called you to be, and be solid in that. So we're praying for you guys. We want every one of you to be the full essence of who God called you to be, and see the fruits and the manifestation of that. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So we appreciate you guys joining this conversation. We want to hear what you have to say, because this topic is one that people are very opinionated about. Yes. And we want to hear those opinions, good, bad, or indifferent. So thanks for joining us.
And I also want to say that I really want to hear, do you think that it's okay to choose a side? Mm-hmm. And if you do, please tell us why. Yeah. Don't just say it's okay. Tell us why. What do you think about identity? What are some tips for those that are interethnic? We love you all. We appreciate you, and we will see you next video. I'm excited to share with you the gender soon.
Soon.
Yes, soon. And don't forget to comment, subscribe. We will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, by the way, this is just how we are. So, sorry for the outtakes.
I know, so many outtakes.
Go.
Okay. What's up, fam? Welcome to the Cole Life. I am 16 weeks, and I will give you, it's round too. Look at that. I did just eat, guys. But anyway.
Yeah, my stuff probably looks like that too.
I know, Dad.
Hey.
Dad might be getting a dad bod.
No, hey, that is not true. Do not listen to her. We're cutting all that out. It's too long of an intro.